Oh my God, Jeff Brohm has that on.
All right, guys, welcome. What a win tonight for the Cardinals. Special edition of the Third Banner Pod. Myself, Ash, we got Kyle and Connor as well.
Man,
Guys, I thought we were dead in the water there for a little bit.
I don't want to hear anybody say that they thought we were pulling that out at the beginning of the third quarter. There ain't no way.
Yeah,
I am fired up, baby.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
I am fired
so
up,
pumped, man. That is what an incredible resilience.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Incredible resilience in his very first coach game. His team showed great fight that we haven't seen very much in the last several years now.
No,
I am fired up. That was beautiful.
Absolutely incredible, man.
I
can't believe it.
I can't believe it. Right away. He's calling me out right away. I picked the loss. So, I have to eat the crow. And Mike, you were right. I'm a real fan. I will push back on that because I did predict 10-2. But, I thought this would be the one we would struggle. And we did struggle. I'm not gonna shy away from that. That second half, we were rolling.
I actually predicted. I said we will get a late touchdown to go up 10. We went up 11, but I didn't see it happening the way it did. But by halftime, I was like, we are in trouble. We are in some major trouble. I mean, Jack Plummer, all props to him, man. He had a rough. I mean, it's an understatement to say he had a rough first half. It wasn't good. I mean, I don't mean that disrespectfully. It just wasn't good. But his ability to hang in there, I was ready for Coach Brohm to pull the trigger on it. I was like, come on, man. I don't know if it's Brock, if it's time for Pierce Clarkson, but I was thinking we got to do something. We got to mix it up. We can't go out here and lose our first game. And so I was panicking.
Brady Allen.
That's why I'm not the coach. That's why I'm no Jeff Brohm. I was panicking. I was like, we got to replace Jack Plummer right now. He held in there. He kept his composure, and he was poised when he needed to be. What was it perfect? Absolutely not. Are there things we definitely are going to take away from this game and hopefully apply? We have a short week, but I mean, Murray State, we should be okay there. But we've got some things to fix. But I mean, the resilience, the ability to hang in there in basically a road game. Now, our fans showed out. Props to them. Our fans showed out. But I mean, that's a tough thing to do what they did tonight. And I talk about an entertaining game in game one of his tenure. I mean, man.
But they don't call us the cardiac cards for nothing, baby.
Hey. Thrash is not paying Riverlink tolls to cross that bridge.
No. Now, what a game, guys.
He's a beast. I was so pumped when there was rumors, hey, you guys might get Jamari Thrash. I thought, oh, man, I hope he commits here. And then there were rumors. I can't remember who else it was that was pushing hard for him, but they thought he might go there. And then when we landed him, he's even better than I thought he was going to be. He's even better. He is that dude. He has that, I don't know, he has that tenaciousness in him too. Like he's just, he's incredible. Coleman, he did very well. Now I will say in future games, I want to see us push the ball downfield, bigger passing plays than what I saw tonight, because we have great weapons at the skill positions. It's insane. Like what I saw tonight when we were rolling, it's like, there's so many things we can do. There are so many things we can do, but we're going to have to push that ball a little bit more. But for tonight, the way these boys hung in there and came back, oh, man. And let me say, it's been a long time since I've thrown something in frustration, a long time. But when Ashton Gelati got held on that long sack, and they didn't call that, but they threw the flag and called holding on defense, which I wasn't upset with the call on the defense, but the complete neglect.
It should have been offsetting penalties anyway.
I launched my hat. I just launched it across the room and started yelling. I mean, I got really into this game, man.
No, so
yeah, I did too.
I don't know. Go ahead.
No, you can. Go ahead. We're all a little jacked right now. Our flow is off tonight, but that's all right. That just shows how passionate we are about the game tonight.
I don't know if y'all saw, but Jamari Thrash's towel that he had on his back says "This shit's personal."
I didn't see that.
It's exactly what it said. His trainer texted me a video of it. Said his towel said "This shit's personal."
Oh.
He was back in his hometown. He was at Georgia State last year. Comes into Louisville, has touchdown, gives us the lead. Oh my Lord.
Ty, I forgot you were on vacation. Hope you're enjoying it down there.
When Jaws went 74 yards, I just started screaming, "Go Jaws, go!" And I swear to you, the people next to me in my townhouse probably thought I was crazy. They're like, "Who the hell? Like, what the hell's Jaws?"
Oh, I'll probably be sleeping on a couch tonight because see, my daughter was upstairs and my wife's trying to get her to sleep. I'm sorry, I'll take the couch if that's what it takes. I
jumped and yelled, "Go!" at the top of my lungs, and my wife came running out of the bedroom like, "What is wrong? What's wrong?"
And the thing is, Jawar Jordan, like it was like the whole game. Me and somebody else in the Discord were like, "Where's Jawar Jordan? Why is he not getting the ball? What is going on?" And then there he was.
Yeah.
That was insane, man. Oh,
yeah,
man,
it was crazy.
I just lost it.
I texted somebody and their answer right back was, "That's what happens when you have tackles that can actually block." All Jawar Jordan had to do was run that dude over and he was gone.
Man, he was just gone too. Man. I mean, he just left everybody.
Dude, cool. I mean, there was a point where I looked over at my nephew, who I'm going to the Murray State game with him, and I just said, man, I thought we were going to have 60,000 plus, but I'm telling you, and Louisville fans can be fickle, not the diehards, but I'm talking about the casuals. And at one point, it was looking pretty rough, and I was like, man, I don't know if they're going to show, but hey, it's still here, man. But there was such a sense of desperation in that second quarter and at halftime, a sense of desperation. We've talked about it on this pod. We are looking for something to grab onto because we're not getting it elsewhere in Louisville sports right now, in the big sports. And it was just, you could just feel the tension. You could see it on Twitter. Everybody's like, what is this? This cannot happen like this. It can't go down like this. And
Brady Brohm just now, 2023 Aflac kickoff game champions. We love to see it.
Hey, and even in the first drive in the second half, when we got down there, I wasn't a huge fan of a quarterback draw with Jack Plummer on 3rd and goal from like the 6 or whatever it was, and we didn't get it, and we kicked a field goal. And I think all of us were like, well, this field goal doesn't do us any good. Well, we were wrong. That field goal actually did, but I mean, you just couldn't see it coming. It was kind of like in basketball under Rick Pitino when we would just boom you. All of a sudden, it was like we were like the Wichita State game, which, you know, Tim Wichita Henderson started it off, but we looked dead in the water. And that was a Pitino thing. And to see Jeff Brohm in his first football game against the ropes, he's reeling. And all of a sudden, he hangs in there. You think he's going to be out you think he's going to get KO'd by a 3rd round. All of a sudden, he makes it a 4th round, 5th round. All of a sudden, he starts left, right, jab, uppercut. All of a sudden, here we come. We look like Rocky out there tonight.
We scored 26 unanswered points up until that touchdown at the end of the game.
Yeah, that was a run because, and it was like and I hate to use like a basketball analogy, but you remember, you know, in our 2013 year, how it was like they used it booming teams. It was like we boomed Georgia Tech tonight in football. I mean, it was just all of a sudden we just came storming back, and next thing you know, we're in the lead, and I'm like, holy shit.
What I would pay to hear what Jeff said at halftime.
Yeah, because that team just came out different. I mean, and that's one thing that, like, in past years and I'm not trying to like go back to the previous regime and everything, but it always felt like however we either won the game from the start, or we didn't really make any halftime adjustments.
When we would have been down 15,
yeah.
Scott would have been like, "Oh, good golly, we lost. It's over. We're just going to run stretch left and stretch right and see what happens."
Hey, I'll say this about the defense too. There was a point where I thought the defense was just gonna get scored on every single possession, and then all
In
of
the
a
second
sudden, the
quarter?
second half, in the second quarter, it's like it was weird because the first quarter we were dominating. Then Ben Perry goes out for a stupid. I'm not gonna get started on that whole thing with the targeting. Dumb, dumb, dumb. When the quarterback's going down, you have a half second and you're lunging towards him. So stupid because in real time, you're not going to be able to calculate that. And I've seen quarterbacks fake slide where they pretend to slide and they take off running. And the
They threw that rule out.
just
You can't
sits
do
there
that anymore.
frozen because they don't want to get a penalty. So I understand protecting quarterback. I understand that, there's been some, very severe injuries related to that. But there does need to be, and it's hard. It's hard. I don't know what the answer is really. But I don't think when a quarterback's sliding as you're lunging forward within a half second of each other, that's a judgment call. That's not a judgment call. That's just like something you got to let go. You can review it and say, look, man, it was bang, bang. And so what I'm getting at is we lose Ben Perry. All of a sudden, the defense looks like a caricature. It's all of a sudden, it's just like, what is this? We're Swiss cheese out there. And then the second half happens. And we made adjustments. And I don't know if it's that we made adjustments coaching wise and schematically, or if they just lit a fire under their asses, but I don't really care. It worked. And I mean, good grief. It was just crazy, man. I'm still like, I'm way up here. All the Louisville fans that made it down there, props to you guys. I bet you guys are like going crazy.
We need to check on Justin, make sure he doesn't end up in Fulton County tonight.
Oh man. Oh, no kidding. Kidding.
Thank you guys for all watching us tonight. We got a good crowd. Captain Hampton, he points out that we were playing chess, just setting everything up to explode in the second half, and that's just what happened. Jason mentioned, we got an elite running back room right now for sure. And what kind of a troll job did that feel like on the first play of the game when Brohm hands off to run on the first play of the game?
Oh no, God. I actually thought that was going to be the first play. It was a run. I predicted.
Yeah,
that.
it just harkened back to.
And then he ran QB draw on 3rd and 6 from the 10. And I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, like I said earlier, I wasn't a huge fan of that, and really that was when I got really discouraged because I'm like, a field goal doesn't do much good for us here. And it did. I mean, we just chipped away. I mean, you just don't see a whole lot of games like what happened tonight. The last time I can remember a game kind of happening like this was when we played UK and Lamar Jackson came in for Kyle Bolin when we were just getting obliterated. Now, that was even worse. We were getting obliterated. I think he had 3 interceptions in the first quarter. Lamar comes in and just leads us back with a fury. It was just great to see in the first game that the team – had that kind of mental fortitude, that kind of toughness. I mean,
yeah, there was no give up tonight. That was fun.
It's been a very long time. I mean, going back to even Petrino, it was like, I don't feel like his teams had a lot of that mental toughness the second time around. Lamar did, but a lot of the guys didn't. And especially towards the end of his tenure. And we all know about Scott Satterfield's tenure. It wasn't going to happen. And
it's been a while since we had a team that fought back after halftime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ty makes a good point here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. I know nobody wants to do it, but Ron English deserves a lot of credit for the win tonight. Made the right adjustments, and his defense was great in the second half. And that's kind of what you were pointing out earlier, Kyle, was the adjustments that were made. And Ty makes an excellent point that, Ron English's team did a lot of good in that second half. And
I don't know exactly what he did.
Blown out tonight.
I don't know what exactly he did, but it looked like he put a spy on Hayes King, whether it was Jalen Alderman or whoever it was, but it looked like somebody was following Hayes King across the field. And whenever Hayes King rolled out, it looked like it was always Jalen Alderman that was there to get him.
What do you want us to look at?
And Big Cardinal fan says, check the Discord. I don't see what you're talking about right away. The Discord's pretty active tonight, though, as you can imagine after a win like that. So.
Oh. Mike Rutherford posted didn't that guy tell people to take it down? Didn't he?
I don't remember that whole story. I know you guys have said that a few times.
He name dropped him.
There's some. Oh wow. Yeah, that guy apparently somebody in the Discord was sharing that on Twitter, and that guy actually reached out. I was like, "Could you please take that down?"
No. Sorry. Toby is the seal from the Georgia Aquarium that picked Georgia Tech to win, and he posted that video.
Oh,
Quote tweeted
that's funny, man. Hey, that's funny. Mike's a funny dude. Obviously, I don't know him personally, but I always listen to the show.
Yeah,
I jive with a sense of humor for sure. But anyway, that guy's probably having a field day because I got to sit next to that guy at the IU basketball game, and he was the same way then. He's pretty amped up, dude, whoever he is. Anyway,
really.
wow, man. Wow. Yep. Cards win. That's right, Marco. Can't believe it. I mean, really couldn't. Alderman had a great night. That's a good point, Ty. I've been waiting on Alderman. Alderman was my pick. What was that? Flyville 22 or was it 21? I don't remember. But his class, he was my pick as the dark horse player that was going to break out. I loved his film. And other than the UCF play at the end of that game, he hasn't had a whole lot of opportunities. He got in there tonight, and he did have a really good game. I was impressed. Riley had a lot of really good plays. They were targeting him towards the end of the game. He had some really good plays. I don't know who the player of the game. I'm going to go with Jamari Thrash. He's got to be a player of the game, right? Because it seemed like when we needed, it was kind of like an NBA when you need a bucket, you give it the superstar.
Him and Kevin Coleman, both of them.
Who stripped
Jamari
that fumble?
Thrash, I'm giving him that kind of. I'm giving him the rock.
Desmond Tell.
That strip fumble saved the game, really, though.
That's true. I don't know who you guys think the player of the game. I've got Thrash.
Player of the game or play of the game?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Play of the game or player?
Player.
If you're going play of the game, it's Des Tell.
Wooski, we're right there with you, man. I appreciate you watching, and we're all excited about the team too. So, since I predicted this would be a loss and that we were going to go 10-2, does this mean we're going 11-1 now? I mean, come on.
I hope you're right, man.
I'm not going out on a limb here tonight.
Yeah, I predicted we win this game. I got us at 9-3, so I don't know. I don't know how that works, but I hope you're right and I'm wrong.
Plummer moved more than I thought he would.
Plummer had really good footwork whenever he was getting pressured. That is something that I did notice, and that was throughout the game. One thing I'm a little concerned about with Jack Plummer, and I hope it resolves itself. I don't know how far the man can throw the football anymore. Now I know when he was at Purdue, he had a few really good throws for them. So I'm not sure what happened tonight. I know he had some nerves probably, and he's in a new system. Well, I know he's played with Jeff Brohm under him before, but it's a new system at Louisville. So I'm sure a lot of that had a lot to do with it. But I am curious going forward. I'm curious how far he can really spread the defense, how deep he can throw a ball downfield, because I mean the out routes and slants, they're nice because we have a talented receiving core who can do it. But you gotta bring more than that going forward. But for tonight, hey, we did what we had to do, man. It was a scary game. It was scary. Luke says this game scared me before the season. Same here, man. Same here. It did, just like Syracuse scared me last year, and then Syracuse obviously ended a lot worse. But I'm just glad we pulled it out tonight, man. It's a conference game, opening game, 2 new coaches. Even though Brent Keys is an interim was an interim last year, he's still technically, this is his first real season running the program. Jeff Brohm, obviously, first game. A lot of things can go wrong in a game like that. A lot of things that you don't expect. So, and that's exactly what happened. And that's what I predicted would happen. Although I did not predict we would make a thunderous comeback like that. And I didn't think we were going to do it, if I'm being completely honest.
No, I was pretty down there.
I was down, man. I was so down. I was like, this is not it, man.
I was really confused when he threw Evan Conley in there for one play.
I was so like, because in the Discord we were like, oh man, maybe we need to look at maybe making a switch or something. But I didn't see it being Evan Conley that would come in.
And then Evan Conley comes in, hands off the ball, and he runs right back out.
Maybe Evan Conley has blackmail on him. It was like, if you don't put me in for one play, I'm leaking the pictures. He's like, fine, I'll put you in near the goal line. How about that?
You're
not getting the ball. You're handing it off. Deal.
And then the very next play, Plummer threw that touchdown pass. So.
That was a beautiful pass. That was a good pass.
Was that
like
the one
you
to
were talking
Coleman?
about a couple of the throws that you were concerned about. I was concerned when he would throw a short route, but to the far side of the field. Some of those seemed like the ball took a long time to get to that receiver. So,
yeah, he had an odd. I don't know if it was just if that's normal for him, but his wind, it seemed like he had a slow wind up, and I feel like that did impact the timing with the receivers. I feel like he threw a lot of balls behind them.
yeah.
But at the end of the day, he stepped up when we needed him to step up, and we got the W, and hopefully it's a learning experience going forward. I'm sure they can take a lot away from this one.
When there's a lot of new moving parts, a lot of guys transferred in, new coaches. And once you get that first game kind of under your belt, you start getting that cohesiveness. Plus, then we got Murray next week. So it's kind of almost like, I don't want to say a walkthrough, but you know what I mean. And then by the time we come back I forget who we play next after that. Sorry, I'm blanking. But it'll kind of be good prep for that third game and get us, rolling a little bit more.
We play IU.
Yeah, we'll be meshed a little bit better together, having more reps under our belt with everybody.
Sorry, I was watching the Hawaii game, and I wasn't going to answer your question until I figured that out.
Also, Bell was an absolute beast. He's a phenom, man. He's a big dude.
Yeah,
a big body, and he's pretty fast. Now, he had one play where he slipped. So somebody in the Discord said, well, he's pretty slow, but I think it was just because he really slipped. I think for his size, I think he's plenty fast, and he's gonna be a weapon this year as long as he can stay healthy. Man, I was really impressed with him. We didn't see Jamari Johnson, did we? Did he go out there at all?
I don't even think he got in there.
But I wasn't counting snaps for everybody or anything like that.
Yeah, our one tight end, he got a wide open. He was wide open in the end zone. We missed him, so that
was Lifson. That was, I think.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but other than that, I didn't see much tight end action. That's something to look at. Kicking game, we hit a couple field goals. Well, actually, we hit 3, didn't we? 3 of 3. Yeah.
Hey,
granted, they were all pretty close, but that's all right.
But he's never been a place kicker before.
And we had a couple nice punts. I was frustrated in Discord in the first half, and I said, all season we heard the hype that the only thing we had or the only thing we would struggle with really was a kicking game. I see the 2 best players on the team are the kicker and the punter.
Hey, and they're the same person.
Yeah, that's true.
He had 4 field goals and 3 extra points.
Oh man, it makes me excited for the Murray State game, man.
Yeah.
So they'll get tomorrow off. They'll ride back tonight. They'll get tomorrow off. Be back in Sunday. Watch film. Do whatever they're gonna do Sunday, and then get right.
They're gonna get home late tonight because what is it? Midnight there.
Yeah,
they're not getting out of there. They're not going to hit the airport till probably 1:30, and then was probably a 2-hour flight.
Yeah, that means they get from downtown Atlanta to the south side of Atlanta in 30 minutes.
I like seeing Jeff Brohm. Like, I'll give you an example of when our defense looked confused on 2 straight plays, and he finally said enough of this and called a timeout and just ripped right into them.
Yeah, I'm not one of those
boomer type of dudes. It's like, oh, kids these days, they just don't need some discipline. But there are times where you need to show some fire and intensity and some fire and brimstone as a head coach. Otherwise, we've seen the coaches that don't do that, and we've had them here. I like seeing that. I think there's times where, it's like, how many times you could read his lips. He's like, how many effing times I have to tell you guys the same thing? And I mean, it was good to see that. And I think that intensity hardens some of the players. I think it makes them more resilient. And I think it's a big reason why we were able to hang in there tonight and take some punches.
Yeah. Well, and another thing that was nice was that even when things were going bad, with this staff and the difference in the type of offense that we ran, it always felt like we could score kind of at any time, even when we weren't necessarily moving the ball real well. If you kind of get what I mean by that. Yeah. Like with Satterfield, it was like we were trying to score, 3 yards at a time. And sometimes that would just kind of, it made you feel like you could never come back if you were down by very much. So it just inspired more confidence.
Somebody else I really liked tonight, Isaac Gerindo. He had
Ty mentioned him in the chat.
He's a bowling ball, man. I didn't see that, but
he didn't have a really good spring game, but he played really well tonight.
No, and that was the main time I saw him. I didn't get to make it out to any of the fall practices, living a bit far away and being as busy as I am. But the spring game, when they had it on TV, I watched him, and I think he really, that's the only thing I had to go off of. Other than, I didn't really follow Wisconsin. So seeing him out there tonight, he played really well.
He made some big catches.
Short yards run. If you need 3 or 4 yards, he can get it for you. And I loved watching him just bulldoze over people.
And the macro says he's confused by the depth chart. Didn't see cornerbacks, Texas A&M transfer.
He's right. MGK and Marcus Washington both didn't play, as far as I know.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Were they expected to play?
I thought they were big additions to the team, but I haven't been reading practice reports and stuff, so I couldn't say how they were.
Well, I know cornerback's pretty locked down. Isn't that what MGK plays and Marcus Washington?
Well, you would think they would get some kind of depth rotation time at the very minimum.
But. They might have, and they just didn't, make a play or whatever, and we didn't see it.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jason. Meekins didn't have the best game.
He
had
some
poor angles on some plays.
He had a decent game, but it didn't feel like he had I don't know how to put it, effort, I guess. His effort wasn't showing.
I don't know. I don't know if it was just that he just was taking poor angles, and I don't know. But
on that last defensive possession, I think when we could have had a pick and it literally would have ended the game. When he just jogged to get the ball that was overthrown in between 3 people. If he dove, the game's over, and we would have won by 11.
Yeah, let's see. Ty says cracked the tough that cornerback rotation with Riley, Brownlee, and Duck, and that's what I'm saying. That's a tough lineup to crack. I think they're definitely on a team with a little bit less talent. They probably either start or get a lot of reps. Maybe we'll see them a little bit in some nickel formations if we do that. But overall, I just think that we've got some really good guys ahead of them right now.
So this is a quote from Jeff from halftime. I didn't lift a whole lot of spirits at halftime. I tried to be as positive as I can, but someone had to challenge them.
So in other words, he wasn't. He ripped into.
So in other words, they got cussed.
Yeah, well, I had a thought and I lost it. That's what happens when you're on 1 hour sleep.
Yeah, but it's late.
It's late.
How'd that brisket turn out?
Oh man, it turned out pretty good. The flat was a little bit dry for me.
I don't mind that if it's a little dry, but I'm like that with chicken too. I don't mind if it gets a little bit dry.
Yeah, it was fine. It was fine. But the point, oh man, it was on point. Woo, buddy! I tell you what. And that smoke ring. But anyway, I get off topic talking about that.
That's all right. I started it.
So we're just gonna throw this out here. Mike Rutherford put this on Twitter.
I can't see that.
I did a double take and thought this was Scott.
Turn your phone landscape.
Shit.
That's a real cool story, bro. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. I know what was on my mind. Ben Perry, does he out? Man. He's out till halftime, isn't he?
No. He's good.
Half.
Oh, is he good?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's if they do it in the second half.
In the second half, they got to sell the halftime the next.
Good.
Game.
I mean, we can
get past talked about getting rid of that, but I don't know if that did they get voted on, Connor?
As far as I know, if you get ejected in the first half, you're good to go to the next game.
Well, the first half, yeah, but there were some rumors that they might get rid of the carryover, even if you were ejected in the second half.
It's just
I don't know if they actually voted.
As far as I know, that didn't change. Now I could be wrong, but because I'm not on the football rules committee, but whatever.
Me either.
It's just so dumb. I'm so sick of the targeting thing, and to stop the game twice like that at the very beginning. We're all pumped up, juiced up to watch a Jeff Brohm team come in. We're like amped up, and then the refs want to take over, and make it about some stupidity. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, neither one of them were the right call, and I'm not saying that as a Louisville fan. The first one, they gave us a pass, and I knew as soon as they threw it for the second one, I said, "Well, they're not going to waive the targeting twice. There's no way." So it was like we were damned if we did, damned if we didn't on that second one, and I'm just sick and tired of that rule where when somebody's sliding in a split second as you're out there in the heat of battle, you're supposed to have the mental awareness to somehow slow down and avoid them. And it doesn't happen on a bang play. And the only other way to do that, the only way that works is if a quarterback can, fake slide and take full advantage of it, because you as a defender are now hesitating anytime a quarterback runs with the ball. And their quarterback tonight continued to do that. He continued to slide really late. Every single time he would do it very suddenly. And that's the thing. It was like he was running, he had his head down, and all of a sudden, bang, he just like falls back and slides. And I feel like he was using that to his advantage. And that's what quarterbacks are doing now. So
he did what Keon Slavis, whatever his name is, the kid from Pittsburgh that did it last year in the ACC championship game. That's what he was doing, but he always went down. So this is a quote from Des Tell post game. At halftime, Jeff Brohm got us hyped. I ain't gonna lie, it was crazy. It felt like a dream. I felt like we were gonna win regardless.
Okay, I love hearing that, man.
Yeah,
I love hearing that, and his players believe in him. You can tell, and I'm not going to talk about the old coaches. I'm going to say you can tell when players believe in a staff. That's awesome, man.
Kenny Pickett, whatever. Aaron Rodgers, whatever. The Jets aren't going to the playoffs.
The thing that frustrates me, though, about the Ben Perry play is a lot of times these people forget that the players are making these plays in real time. And when they went to review that play, they had to look at it multiple times in extremely slow-mo to determine whether or not that was targeting.
That's the problem, is you're making the decision in
real time.
Yeah, you're making a split-second decision in like several minutes. You're breaking it down and you're making it something that it wasn't.
It's totally unfair to the players.
You're judging it from a different place than when it happened, is a better way to say it.
And then what happened, like when they showed it on ESPN, they were like you could see when they were reviewing it that it showed, I think, like it was like 2 minutes. It took them 2 to 3 minutes to figure out what the hell was going on.
And how about the dude that hit our guy out of bounds? Like 20 minutes after the whistle blew. Like 20 minutes after the whistle blew, he just knocks him out, and the ref's running right there.
And even the TV commentators were like, "Well, that's late."
Yeah, I mean, it was like you couldn't not notice it. You can't tell me none of those referees noticed that. I had some issues with some of the officiating tonight, for sure. The one that really made me lose my crap, though, is when Ashton Gelati got held, still got the sack, and then they called a holding on us.
Listen, just wait until we go. Just wait until we go to North Carolina and Jeff loses his absolute mind on one of these refs. It's going to be glorious.
AHB had a good game. You know what? That's the thing, too, about our offense. I wouldn't say our offense lit it up tonight by any stretch. I think we had our moments in the second half, but even without them lighting it up, so many players stood out tonight. We had 3 running backs that all played really well, in my opinion. We had AHB played well. Bell played well. Obviously, Jamari Thrash played well. It was just really good to see. We have a lot of weapons, man. We have a lot of weapons. And it was exciting to see. Again, my concern with Jack Plummer is he able to get the ball down the field like 20, 30 yards at times? Is he able to spread the defense, get them to pin their ears back at times, and then pay for doing that? Is he able to make them pay? I don't know, because you even saw Georgia Tech start to adjust to our little slant routes we were running towards, as the game went on. And so we had to adjust, which Jeff Brohm again and Brian Brohm, they made some adjustments. But at the end of the day, he's going to have to be able to get that ball downfield. And so that's something I'm going to be watching going forward, see if he can do it or not. But, hey, man, I am exhausted. I'm probably going to get off of here soon because I am like slap happy on an hour's sleep. I thought for sure tonight watching that game, I would probably fall asleep during it. And in the first quarter, it really did feel like it was snooze fest. And then all of a sudden, it picked up. So, and then I got really hyped again. So I'm running on fumes, and it was good stuff. But I think I'm probably gonna. Y'all can stay on there or whatever. I think I'm gonna bow out though. I gotta get some sleep.
My adrenaline went through the roof in the second half. So
yeah,
all right.
man,
Well, you guys have a good one. I'm gonna back out.
Here's an idea. Drop the link in the YouTube chat, baby.
Go Cards.
Go Cards, Kyle.
Let Couch House get on here.
Yeah, where's Couch House? He's our number one guy, isn't he? He's usually the first one to make a comment.
No, hell, he might be listening to Ennis.
Hey, do we got anybody watching the feed that wants to join on, make a little comment here? Let us know. I'll drop the.
We'll do a call-in show before the call-in show, baby.
Here's what we'll do. I just got to figure this out here. First time we're doing this, so I'm gonna drop the StreamYard link in here in the chat. You guys can, if somebody wants to hop on and make a comment, I'll add you on to the.
I noticed this during the spring game. I thought Callaway was shifty. I didn't think he could move very well. Or I thought he was shifty, but I didn't think he was fast. He looked pretty damn good today.
Yeah, it was fun seeing the playmakers and the speed that we had today. I mean, that was pretty cool.
And it was fun seeing the playmakers actually get the damn ball.
Well, and then we had the running play where we gave it to AHB. I think it was an end around, and he got like 10 yards. And that was like it feels like the first time in his career that we actually intentionally tried to get AHB involved into the game. So,
well, I mean, he did play 3 years with Scott, so. Oh God, no, like tonight in the first half, I was like, good God, this feels like Scott all over again. We're just not going to score.
Yeah, I was worried. But one of the things, though, that you got to remember is coaches never like to show all their cards in the first game.
Yeah, but then we ran in reverse.
Yeah, I mean, you show some of it, especially when you're playing a conference opponent. I mean, it wasn't like we opened up with Murray. So
the Callaway County Cavalry.
Yeah, I mean, so like they had to do some things to ensure that they got the win. I mean, because you don't want to like hold all your cards and then come up empty.
Like if we're going player of the game.
I think it's got to be Tell. I know Thrash has been a popular call, but if we don't strip that fumble, and then who recovered it actually?
I have no idea who recovered it. Zero clue.
I can't remember who recovered it either. Anybody in the crowd got?
I think it was. I think it was Cam Wilson. I think that's what they said was Cam Wilson. I could be wrong, but I know that Des Tell forced it, and I went absolutely nuts.
I just feel like that particular play was the play of the game. I mean,
well, and then we didn't even
some odd yard run for the touchdown.
Like we didn't even take a shot. We just said, Jaws, here's the ball. Do what you want to do with it. He runs somebody over and goes 74 to the house. Yeah. Like when you get a turnover, you take a shot. Jeff said, Jaws, here you go. Have fun. Figure out what you're going to do with it. And he went 74 yards to the house. Did we score too fast? Probably. Did it matter? No.
I mean, because you always take the points, in my opinion. You're not going to just.
I'd rather go up 11. I would much rather go up 11 than be up. What was it? Like 4? Be up 4 with the ball with the possibility of turning it over. Much rather be up 2 scores.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, I don't have much else to talk about tonight as far as the show is concerned, or as far as the game is concerned. You got anything else? I'm gonna hop off here if nobody else has any other comments. Looks like our chat has kind of died down.
I don't. I plan on turning on Ennis here in a second and going upstairs, finishing this drink, and going to bed.
Yeah, that was an awesome win. Yeah, Ty, I wish I could see the video of the halftime speech too. Wish you were on here, buddy. I wish you were on here with us after the game. The post game is fun because of the emotional reaction to the game.
Good thing you still have power down in Hilton Head there, buddy.
Yeah. Hopefully you guys travel safe coming home too. I'm not sure what day you guys are headed back, but
I bet Canes doesn't have power down there though. Cookout's the way to go in the South there, buddy.
Well, yeah, I miss Cookout. But anyway, thank you guys for joining us tonight after the game. We'll try to do this more often and be structure it how you guys. If you guys have any feedback on things that you'd like us to talk about, in particular about games, please let us know. This was an off the cuff thing, wasn't necessarily planned. So give us some feedback on what you like and dislike about the post game show and what you'd like to see out of it moving forward. So, like our regular shows, it's a work in progress. So appreciate you guys watching. Give our channel that like and subscribe button so you get the notifications when we come live. Also like our social media channels at the Third Banner Pod on Facebook and at Third Banner Pod on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it now. I don't think anybody's calling it one specific thing anymore. It's like everybody's divided on what they're calling it. So, but anyway, Macro says with a new staff and all this, yep, this victory is huge. I mean, it's against a conference foe, so you're absolutely right.
Hey, guess who's number 1 in the ACC, baby?
Go Cards. On that note, unless you got anything else, Connor, go Cards.
Beat Murray.
Yeah.